Good morning, gardening friends. Well, things should look a little bit different now. I'm not 100% done. Let's just kind of take a look at this section here. I've got some of the mulch that's actually just grass and pine needles, and it has dried out already. Wow. Yesterday the sprinklers went off, so that would have given them a little bit of moisture. Let's just see. I'm going to try and stick my finger in the soil here. That's fairly moist. Actually, that should be covered a little bit better. Don't know if it might be the local cat that seems to love our yard here. Yeah, there's a fair amount of moisture there. Versus the one that doesn't. Actually, I'd say it's about the same. So, but it's not been super hot. We've got a couple more that have the mulch in there, and it seems to be, it's not creating a problem so far. The pea plants haven't exactly started climbing yet. I'm hoping they will soon. Nothing much to see here, no sprouts. This is the tomato plant. We're going to actually return it to the person that loaned it to us. We enjoyed some tomatoes off of it. I've cut the plant back significantly. There was this chicken wire in there, which was interesting. That's the first time I've seen that. But we'll give it back to her. We were just sort of taking care of it for her while she went on vacation, and then it turned into we had it all summer and fall. Nothing's showing up in here yet. Wondering if that's... No, that's just miscellaneous stuff that's kind of worked its way in. Now, this is really kind of where a lot of the change was. It's not really neatened up just yet. I've put in these stepping stones. I would almost call them pavers, but I guess, yeah, they're not fancy, so they call them stepping stones. But basically did a lot of sort of cleaning up around here. You can see that's where the tomato was. I've got various things in there. I've got some of my old lighting projects in there, a couple of solar light bulb kind of things. That's basically a bucket full of rocks. It just as I continue to excavate and clear stuff out and kind of plan things. Ooh, my whirlybird's turning. If I could only get the light to turn on again. So those rocks are just as I'm excavating. I keep running into larger rocks and I just put them in a bucket because sometimes you have a spot that you want to do kind of a dry well or something like that. I've even got a little of that over here. Sorry, this is really kind of stream of consciousness here. But you can see I got a bunch of rocks down there. Ultimately, I think I'm going to take those out and put soil back in there. But where to get the soil? Well, that comes from excavating back just to clear an area like this. I've been throwing a lot of the soil up onto the hill to kind of rebuild the hill because a lot of it has just slid down over the years. You can even sort of tell this piece of wood running across here was the original. And basically there was that and there was soil behind it. I only put the pavers afterwards. So the hill actually was kind of sloped back a little bit more like it is now, except that actually right now there's a cut. I'm trying to smooth things out a bit, but I can only smooth it out so much, and I'm still kind of working that out. Over here I haven't really reorganized any of this stuff yet, so that's kind of a mess. But if we carry over here, we get to the grazing garden, and I've moved a couple of things over here that were previously over there in the middle. So it turns out I got a lot more Swiss chard than I thought I had. So I'm going to have to do some harvesting and enjoy that. I think these pots were intended to have some seeds that were given to us, and I was doing something with my niece, but that didn't quite work out, and I think those are just weeds in there. So I got to go through that. That's a nasturtium plant that's not doing so great. There's a micro-tom over there, which are these like pea-sized tomatoes, so I think I might enjoy them. But that's kind of the update around here. I've got seeds coming, and I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. I did buy some scarlet runner beans, something I've always wanted to play around with, and you can see I've got sun right there. So I'm thinking I'm going to clear a little bit more of this back in that direction and try and put a pot. The only problem is that that's the last sprinkler on this part, so I don't know how I'm going to get water to the scarlet runner beans, except if I put the drip irrigation of some sort. I can tap onto the top of that and then just run a little tube over, and that should help with that. So that may be what I end up doing. One advantage of this year versus previous years is there's an actual irrigation system for me to play with. So that's kind of where we are. And it occurs to me I also need to do a video on the sun tracking. I did that a few years ago, but I think it's time for an update. So that's it for now. This is the Budget Gardener signing off and saying, may your thumb be green.